Well, really proud of our football team sitting at 2-4 going in the open week, and is the way things kind of are in our society. The negativity builds up, and all the negative things. We always want to blame somebody, and the staff stuck together, and these players stuck together. They continue to invest in what we were doing, and really the second half of the season's been a little bit more what we want to be. Offensively, obviously, getting some guys back healthy was critical. Getting some young guys to continue to emerge and play extremely good football, which they have. Defensively, we're still work in progress. I mean, it's just frustrating. We've got to be mentally dialed in all the time and be really right with what we're doing defensively, and we showed it again in the first half. Second half, they had the one drive, they hit the one bang eight down to the big kid, and we were in middle field coverage. But we got to get better team speed as far as our coverage units are concerned. We've said that we got to go back and look at some alternative kick situations because the group we're playing this week's got some good skill kids. So, but I'm extremely proud of our football team and how they've continued to have some fight and resolve. It says a lot about the character that we have in the locker room. It says a lot about our staff, and those guys sticking together. The support we have here is outstanding. Our fan base is phenomenal, and every day out in Williams-Brice is a great day. So excited about where we are, but I'm really excited about where we're headed. Obviously, the bowl game is going to be huge for us to continue to develop a young team. Football is a developmental sport, and you got to play the game. It's not like basketball. We just roll the ball out there and play one-on-one. You can't get in the batting cage and get better. You got to play the game, and that's what you've got to do in football, and that's what we're going to be able to do. Preparing for a bowl game, doesn't matter where it is. Darius Rucker's going to have a concert on campus. We're excited about that. President Pastide is going to be the MC, so he's cranking that thing up. So we're excited. I put him in charge tonight, or he put himself in charge tonight. So we're excited. It was good. It was an ugly game in a lot of respects. Offensively, I thought we played extremely well. Moved the ball up and down the field. We got stalled in the red zone a couple times. Had a silly penalty there at the end. We can't tolerate that. We got to be, we took care of the football for the second half of the season. If you really look at it, I think we've had 3 turnovers in the last 5 games. So we've taken care of the ball. We've been opportunistic on defense. That's what going in the season, we knew we'd have to be. So I'll open it up for any questions.
They had 270 at the half, 97 in the second half.
Yeah.
Open up for questions, David.
Will, how excited were the guys in the locker room knowing that you go into a bowl and like you said, the 2-4 start kind of sunk the season, but you guys were able to rebound and get here?
Well, you never, you remember certain things in your coaching career, and one of the moments for me was we were sitting there struggling in the year. Quay Lewis and I were just talking, and Quay, went to junior college, and he came last year, and he goes, Coach, I've never been to a bowl game. I just want to go to a bowl game. And when you're able to fulfill something like that for a guy like that who's given everything to South Carolina, loves this place, loves being a Gamecock, that's really important. And to see the look on his face, and a lot of those guys faced, and so especially the seniors, almost a bit of relief to be able to say we're going to a bowl game, and that's something of pride, and it's the expectation here, in my opinion.
Will, now that you've become bowl eligible, is this ahead of the plan that you had here, or are you right on schedule?
No, I don't really look at, putting a plan out there. I think that you got to deal with your circumstances as they arise. And, at the end of the day, I think we've improved throughout the year. I said that before the season started. I said I felt like if we all hit on all cylinders, took care of the ball, we're opportunistic on defense, we weren't as good on third down defensively this year as I'd like to have been so far. But we need to get to a bowl game. That was really important for us to be able to do that, considering where we were, after our first 4 games of the year, and knowing what we had on deck coming home to Williams-Brice. So I'm just really proud of the guys. I don't like to get into the expectation because I didn't. Unless you've not been with a unit before, you have a hard time defining an expectation if you don't really know how they're going to respond when adversity and those things hit. So. I'm proud of the guys. Getting to a bowl game is really important for our program.
Well, obviously, Western came in with a game plan of getting guys in space and forcing open field tackles. What was the difficulty in trying to get used to that?
Well, it was the first drive of the game. They got 3 third downs where it has nothing to do with run defense. I mean, I don't know what our run stats has to do with your pass defense. When a guy drops back and scrambles, that's not a run. It's a pass. It means we didn't do a good job in rushing. Their guy made some plays. He's a really good player. We knew that going into the game. We had a lot of respect for him as far as his legs were concerned, being able to extend plays and create what I call off-rhythm plays. And we got to get faster as a defense. We got to get faster as a team, but it shows up a lot on defense in space. And got to get guys that can close and make plays in space better and hem up a guy like that. So 3 third-down conversions, a tackle over power that they creased for 36 yards, I think. And then we come back down the second drive, same thing. We don't get off the field on third down. They do a tackle over again. We finally make the adjustment. And, it's just frustrating with sometimes making adjustments. We've got to be on point with what we do. We don't have a margin of error much.
Over here to Hill.
You've been a part of plenty of different rivalries over the years, but this one with Clemson, where do you think this South Carolina-Clemson rivalry stacks up?
Well, we're looking forward to being a part of it. I know it's important to our guys. Our guys are talking about it in the locker room, and we'll prepare the right way for this game. We look forward to it.
Colin.
Coach, what was Rico Dowdle doing so differently today than he does in the past, and how important was the offensive line in helping get him blocked for him?
Well, their football team has struggled against the run, so that's had a little bit to do with it as well. But we did a nice job getting a hat on a hat. We did not have many negative plays, but Rico, the more snaps he takes, the better he's going to get. He's a very good football player. He runs through contact. He got the ball low on the fumble. He's got to keep it high and tight, and that was an issue there. But he's a good football player. He runs through contact. He runs for daylight, and he's got good top-end speed. And he is also a guy as the game wears on, they get tired of tackling because he's got a big lower body. He's got a big trunk.
Over to Ben in the corner.
At what point did it really click what kind of a weapon Debo could be on the ground, especially near the goal line?
In about the third day of spring practice.
Will, during the Tennessee and Missouri game, right before halftime, you guys, had the ball first, maybe kind of tried to run the clock a little bit. Tonight, you got it right before halftime, really went down the field, started hitting some passes. Did you guys talk about that since the Tennessee and Missouri game to be aggressive, or was it just
Well,
tonight?
I felt like, in those games we had actually stopped them on defense once. So I felt a little bit more comfortable about we got to score, and so we took a shot off the goal line on the first play, and then we hit the run coming out. But Jake's been accurate with the ball. He's made very good decisions with the football. So those are, we got a lot of confidence. You continue to build confidence with it, but a little bit was we hadn't stopped anybody on defense. So to me, it's all, David, about how the game is flowing. We had been stopping Tennessee. We had stopped Missouri. I felt good about where we were playing defensively. We were a little bit helter-skelter there defensively a little bit. We needed to be able to tie some things up.
Over to Josh.
Will, do you feel like your defensive guys understand how locked in they have to be each week, or did they get a little complacent today maybe
I
coming
wouldn't
in?
say complacent. I would give credit to Western Carolina on 3 third downs and then schematically going to a tackle over and a lack of adjustment on our guys, or it's my fault at the end of the day. But we didn't make an adjustment, and you got 14 points right there they made some plays, and we knew going into the game athletically they had some skilled kids that could give us some issues, and the quarterback's a good player. But they've been told. I don't know. You either coaching it or letting it happen. That's an old saying. So obviously we've allowed it to happen. We haven't done a good enough job coaching it.
Right.
You talked about the other day on your show that you felt like whenever you get to that next level that you're going to thank these seniors for laying the
Right.
foundation. How special was it on senior day to lead them out to this bowl?
There's no
eligibility?
doubt. It's what it's all about to me. These guys, Mason, Zandy, and Perry. I don't want to start mentioning them because I'm going to forget some guys, but they've been great. The script has not gone exactly like some of them wanted to as far as their personally how their senior years at South Carolina wanted to go, and there was no complaining. There was no pushback from them to us as a staff. We're a confrontational staff. If it's not right, we're going to address it. So, we ruffled some feathers, I'm sure. But those guys, the way that they have, their attitudes have been phenomenal.
Ben.
Kick coverage issues today pretty much in the same vein as the issues against Florida?
Well, we didn't get a good kick, number one. The direction of the kick was an issue. And then we knew that they put 35 back at the wing position, that there was a possibility of a reverse. We had 2 guys chase the reverse. They weren't responsible for the reverse. It's something we've practiced. We've been over. We've gone over. Obviously, we didn't go over it enough. And so we'll continue to look at that and possibly some alternative kicks in the kick game. It's a problem.
To the back right.
Dual threat quarterbacks seem to give us a little trouble as we play. So how do you account or get ready to play a team like Clemson that has a pretty good dual threat QB?
Well, again, he's not a good player. He's a great player. I mean, he's a guy that's up for the Heisman, and if they give it to him, they're not making a mistake. He's really good. So he's a guy that we've got a lot of respect for. We're going to need to play extremely well in the ball game defensively. We need to tackle better. Tonight we had guys in position to tackle. You can't butt guys down. You got to wrap and run your feet, and our guys have been coached that. And sometimes we got to continue to do a better job in practice as far as those things are concerned. But they're going to create a lot of space plays too. We got to make plays in space. You got to make tackles in space against people like this. And and certainly this week will be another issue.
Coach, every win that freshman Jake Bentley's had has been here at home. In the Florida game, he seemed a little rattled. How are you going to go about getting him comfortable playing in Death Valley?
Well, I think as much as anything, we got to play well around him. And certainly I know he'll prepare the right way to play well against a very good football team. But we got to protect him. We got to block well up front. We got to get something going in the run game. When you don't get anything going in the run game, it becomes a one-dimensional game against a really good defense, which Clemson's got a really good defense just like Florida. So you can't be one-dimensional. You've got to be able to create some other things. So we need to play well around him, and that'll certainly settle his game down a little bit.
Anything else for Coach? All right.
Thank you.